and one. Good evening, good evening. My name is Richard the Razor Ewing. You just put your game face on, and we do this on Monday evenings at 7 p.m. I have my co-host with me, Matt, the wise and always wise man with me. We're going to get started, but before we do, I always ask the questions. And so if you're trying to figure out how to make sure your grill is set correctly for that President Day barbecue, you're on the wrong podcast. And if you're trying to figure out which candidate is going to take over the state of California, you're on the wrong podcast. But if you're looking to get insight into Bay Area sports in the San Francisco Bay Area, you just put your game face on. And if you're trying to get insight on sports on a national level, you put your game face on. Welcome. Put your feet up. We got a great show for you. Matt, what do we got?
What's going on? We got a lot going on. The Warriors are playing tonight. They're going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers after losing against a tough one against Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Sharky's on a 2-game slide. A lot going on in the Niners world. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. I saw. I had texted you the other day, I think, and we were talking about, or either I texted you or we were talking about it, how Deshaun Watson is now intrigued with the idea of possibly coming to San Francisco or the Broncos.
Yeah, that's exciting news if you're a Niner fan, just for even the potential that he may want to come here. Because that's a big piece of the puzzle for the Deshaun Watson, for anybody to get Deshaun Watson, is he's got to want to go there because he has a no trade clause in his contract. So wherever he's traded to, he gets the final say on it. So if he's eyeballing the Niners or the Broncos, I'm loving that. The only thing that holds me back to it is what's Houston going to do, because they're not going to just give him away, and they've said as much.
Well, this is kind of back to what we had discussed last week, too, and that is the fact that they could, use Garoppolo as a trade piece, maybe a couple of draft picks and maybe some money, and now all of a sudden that's a doable trade. I think that it's back to what you stated. The real question is exactly how much does Houston want, for him. Now, we all know wherever Deshaun goes, like you said, he's the missing piece to a very, very large puzzle. And there's a lot of broken puzzles out there right now as far as the NFL is concerned. But I still think at the end of the day, still a lot has to happen for him to come to San Francisco. And then not only that, Lynch has to pull a rabbit out of the hat to make this happen, okay? Because, like you said, Houston's not going to let him walk easy.
Well, and Shanahan has to want him too, and we don't even know if he's kind of a Shanahan guy. Will he fit in a Shanahan system? Will Shanahan want to fit him into his system? So there's a lot to it to make it happen. I'm almost just kind of tired of talking about it, because it's like this has been going on already for 5 or 6 weeks, and March 15th is the deadline for free agency. So there's not going to be any movement going on until that date. So I feel like it's just a lot of talk. I mean, it's good talk. It's interesting. It's interesting to think about it, but I don't know. I'm almost tired of speculating of what can happen, what they would have to give up to get them, and vice versa.
Well, that's all part of it, though. Man, we gotta unfortunately eat the rumor mill pie, if you will, okay? Because that's what we do in sports talk. That's kind of what they do. That's what everybody does. Anytime you got an off season and there's no playing going on, the fuel is gonna be set by rumors. That's what they need, because it also continues to keep the focus on the NFL. So and you're right, it is getting boring. I mean, I don't want to talk about Deshaun Watson until something happens. But this did come up, last week, so I thought it was pretty juicy piece of information for the moment.
And Richard, even though football might be over, listen, I'm going to get into it. We're going to pay some bills right here. Yeah, even though football might be over,
right?
We still have the NBA. We still have college basketball. The NHL is in full swing, and the only place that you should be betting your sports bets is at betonline.ag. I'm thinking about it. The Warriors game tonight is pretty tempting coming off that loss. Steph Curry, I could see him going bananas tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I would almost put money on him. If I did, I would be doing it at betonline.ag. BetOnline even covers award shows, TV shows, and reality TV. BetOnline has hundreds of props with real-time odds on almost anything you can imagine. And of course, the 24-hour online casino. It never closes. So I encourage you, head to the website or use your mobile devices to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag.
All right, there you go, people. Think you can make some money? There you go. There's a route you can take. Personally, myself, I like putting in my 8 hours every day. That's more. I don't have to worry about.
Hey, maybe there's someone out there that wants to put money that Deshaun Watson's coming to San Francisco. Maybe there's someone that's willing to do it. Who knows? Maybe there's someone that's willing to put money that the Sharks are going to make the playoffs. I highly doubt it the way they started the season, but maybe there's someone that's willing to do it.
Yeah, you might be onto something there. I want to talk about tonight's game with the Warriors in Cleveland. Interesting piece of information. Apparently, it appears that Andre Drummond apparently is going to be traded by Cleveland. He's not sitting up tonight. As a matter of fact, in the last game, he was seen as wearing a sweatshirt that said farewell. I was kind of entertained by that. I was like, wow, really? Well, that's pretty bold, man. I don't think I could have done something like that.
Hey, you got to give them props for it. Listen, it's a business, so a lot of these guys know that there's business moves going on. There's rumor mills going on. There's discussions going on, and I love it. Get creative. Hey, you know what? This may be my last time around here. Farewell. I love the sweatshirt. An interesting landing place for him. I would be interested to see where he would go. The Warriors do need a big man. They're down 2 big men right now. Wiseman looks like he's going to be out another 7 to 10 days. So I don't necessarily think the Warriors should make a run at it and make a trade for him, because I don't necessarily think the Warriors are a big man centric team. But it would be interesting to see where he goes.
Well, something interesting thing about his numbers is, his numbers are valuable. I mean, he was averaging 17 points and 10 rebounds per game. I mean, that's lucrative play right there from a big man. So, personally myself, I could see him in Boston, because the Celtics don't really have a dominant big man right now, and that could give them some leverage in the East.
It could. It could, and the way that the East is going, it's big ball. There's a lot of big boys in the East, and so you do need size down low if you're gonna play in the East. So that would be an interesting move. Maybe Miami out there looking to vamp up their team for another run this year. They could use a big man. I think there's just a lot of options.
Yeah, there is a lot of options. I can't even remember to do this. You should probably call a foul on me for even doing this, man. But I couldn't believe what I heard today. Apparently, the A's signed Sergio Romo to a 1-year deal.
That I didn't even hear. Yeah. And if that happened, that's awesome. Sergio Romo's a baller.
Yeah. That was interesting. I thought, wow, he's an Oakland A right now, and it's kind of, and we've seen this before, where you have individuals who start off on one side of the bay, and they either finish their career on the other side of the bay, or they go the other way around. Why can't I think of the pitcher's name that pitched for the A's and then eventually ended up finishing his career with Giants? Got him a title too.
Zito.
Barry Zito, prime example right there.
Yeah.
Zito. But yeah, and I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, Sergio Romo's still playing. I didn't even realize. I know he signed with Minnesota for a couple of seasons, but that was just very interesting to hear.
To me, it's just the A's doing the A's. I mean, listen, they got Elvis Presley a while back in a trade. I said it last week, and now you're getting Sergio Romo, who's let's be honest, is at the end of his career. So I'm excited because I'm a Giants fan, and it's just cool to see that he's going to be in the Bay Area playing baseball again. But if I'm an A's fan, I'm not super jumping up and down excited about it. But for nostalgia, definitely as a Giants fan, it's kind of cool. But it just shows what the A's are all about. They're not, again, not putting together a competitive baseball, or they're putting together a ragtag baseball team to just get them through the year and see if they strike gold. And then once they do strike gold, they're going to sell it all. So not super excited.
But if you're an A's fan, that's pretty depressing to hear. It really is. I mean, come on, it's like, why even be a fan at that point? Because you know what they're going to do. I heard today also that I guess I'm sure you saw the situation with Tom Brady when he had the Vince Lombardi trophy, and I guess he tossed it from one boat to the other. Okay. Well, this is the thing.
I posted on my social media, so absolutely I saw it.
Yeah, but this was the interesting thing. Apparently, the Vince Lombardi trophies that are like even positioned down at 49 Centennial Drive where the Niners are, okay? Those trophies that are in there are actually replicas. They aren't actually the real trophy. Now, apparently, what Brady had was the real trophy. Okay. He tossed it to the boat. And this is the thing. Oh God, I think it's Lauren Gross, I believe her name is. And I may have butchered that name. But apparently her father was the actual sculptor of the original Lombardi trophy.
Okay.
So and apparently she really got incensed that Tom Brady had done this. So she went on this rant, and by the time she got done, she wanted an actual apology. Okay, and she wanted an apology. Matter of fact, she wanted Brady to apologize to all the silversmiths apparently that had worked to bring the Vince Lombardi trophy together. Which I thought, wow, you want a public? In other words, you feel like this is a direct attack against you, even though you have nothing to do with putting together the actual trophy. Your father did. So
I don't get it. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was awesome. I loved it. I love seeing Tom Brady just enjoying it. Throwing the trophy, okay. But look at the Stanley Cup, they drank out of it. They pour all kinds of stuff inside the cup to drink out of it. And nobody's throwing a fit that they're desecrating the Stanley Cup. Right. So I'm sorry, that we don't remember the lady's name, but for whatever her name is, like, I'm sorry, like, let them enjoy it. They're celebrating. It's a trophy.
Right.
It's something that you get when you celebrate an accomplishment or an achievement. Come on now. Let's, listen, Peyton Manning made a Super Bowl trophy on ESPN out of Kellogg's cornflakes boxes. So listen, it's a trophy. It's to be celebrated. It's to take around. It's to have parades. It's to put up in front of your stadium, at your stadiums. Come on.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I think this was way overboard, and really, she needs to go find something to do. Okay, because at the end of the day, nobody owes her anything. She didn't do anything to be owed anything. Okay,
that's their trophy.
Yeah,
they won that. They won that trophy. They put in the work. That is their trophy now.
Right.
And it belongs to them. They can do whatever they want with it now. If they don't want to display it, they don't have to.
Wait until they crown somebody else next season. They can do whatever they want with their trophy.
It's theirs.
That's right. So now we look at the San Francisco Giants a bit, and as you probably can tell, my background, so I'm looking at them this year, and I'm kind of surprised because I have not really seen anything. I haven't seen anything that shows that they actually want to put together a competitive season for next year.
No, no, and it's disappointing because what was it last year, or the year before? They were, whoever the top free agent was, the Giants were names were on the list of wanting to be in the running for those top free agents, and then Farhan comes on board, and there's no talks of going after these big guns. There's no talks of going after these big, huge free agents, and they're really not making moves. And uh, to be honest, in that division, you're dead in the water before you even start the season because the Dodgers and the Padres have gone out and put together a baseball team to compete.
Yeah. Personally, myself, I think the team to watch out in right now is the Padres. My God, you see the people they have? Oh man, they launched. They must have did like some type of crazy campaign in the offseason or something because
GoFundMe. Maybe they did a GoFundMe. I
I don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know where the money's coming from.
Look, all I know is they signed Melanson, didn't they?
Yeah.
God, Melanson still got good stuff. I don't understand why. And see, that's my point. It's like we didn't do anything to show that we were even interested in this guy. We didn't. He was available, and we didn't. We did nothing. And so, I'm just trying to understand where. I mean, we signed Farhan because apparently of what he did when he was a Dodger, and he was able to put together that crew, and that crew became dominant. And they done all those things.
But what did excuse me? But what did he do as a Dodger? They didn't win no championships as a
No,
Dodger, and they had a bolstered sell. I mean, their salary was ridiculous
but they had
year after year.
they became something that they weren't in the last 10 seasons. They became competitive. They competed for titles, and they hadn't done that before he got there. That's what they highlighted. Now, whether or not if that has any real validity or not, I'm not gonna speculate, but that's kind of what the reason why the Giants organization brought him here because they felt like, well, you know what? Look at what he was able to put together in LA. Okay. And it's true. They didn't win, but they were damn close. And that's what they liked. That's why they signed him. And they felt like he would have the business know-how to be able to put together some contracts out of the mess that they were dealing with that was here. I mean, the Samardzija contract, oh my God, that's a mess. Cueto's contract is a mess. We could go on. But that's kind of the reason why they brought him here. But now that he's here, and he's been here, a couple of seasons now, and I haven't seen any real aggressive business moves that makes me say, okay, you know what? This guy wants this team to win.
And unfortunately, I think that's going to be the Giants' philosophy. I mean, look at the coaching staff; it's going to be all analytics, um, And part of me that drives me crazy because you're taking the feel of the game out of the coach's hands because you're doing things based off of what the numbers tell you to do. And maybe that's kind of what's going on in the front office is it's all analytics. It's a numbers game. It's a ones and zeros thing. And it's not by feel. Um, I don't know. As a Giants fan, it's a little discouraging, but I mean, I do get it. Is we are turning a page. We are, going from a championship team, and now but the problem is now we're like 3-4 years removed from it, and we're no closer to building a dominant team here in San Francisco. Um, I feel like we're still a little bit behind,
Yeah.
a lot behind. Like you said, there's a lot of old contracts. Buster Posey coming back this year. What kind of player is he going to be? Does he have anything left in the tank, or does he have a lot left in the tank that he just needed a year off? We don't know.
I think Posey will have enough in the tank. I don't think that's in question. I think the year off is going to do him some good. He could use the year off. He could use some rest. Not a bad choice to do that. Plus, he had ample reason to do it. I mean, he's dealing with a situation where they've taken on responsibility of twins, and yeah, that to me was reasonable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not worried about Buster Posey. I know Posey's going to come in and he's going to bring his A game and do his thing. And also, I couldn't help but notice. Also, it appears that what I've been talking to my former counterpart about for months. I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it, but I am going to do it tonight. apparently, I still can't believe this is happening. Okay, the A's got approval to pursue the new stadium.
It's great.
Yeah,
Build it. Let's go. I mean,
I was surprised. I was like, wow, really? I was like,
where's it
okay.
at?
I'm sorry, what?
Where's it going to be at?
Oh, look, my background's falling. Oh,
That's right. The Giants are angry.
the
The
Giants.
Giant spirits are angry.
I shouldn't have said that, huh?
It was. I'm telling you, the rivalry is real. That
Yeah.
Bay Bridge rivalry.
Yeah.
The Giant spirits are angry that the A's are getting a new place.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it apparently they got approval to pursue the stadium. And we all know that, really at the end of the day, one of the things that was holding them up was, environmental things and, people saying, well, you know what, I guess the Oakland Port is not happy that they're doing this because they felt like if they did, it would, basically cause, the convolution of, traffic because, traffic's going to be coming in, going to the games. Then you have the traffic of the port and they think that's going to be a bad idea. But apparently they're saying, well, no, they actually do have the ability to go and get, approval for, this stadium, which I am very, very, happy for them because we know this has been an ongoing conversation with Dave Cavill. He's been going on and on talking about the stadium, and then we didn't hear nothing for like almost 6 months. All of a sudden we find out, yeah, they actually can pursue the stadium. So
I'm not happy. I'm gonna miss those super cheap tickets. I'm gonna miss those super cheap hot dogs way in the upper deck. I'm gonna miss the sitting in the bleachers out there at the Coliseum with the drummers right in your ear. I know the drummers are gonna go over to the new place, but I'm gonna miss some baseball at the Coliseum, even though it's a terrible stadium. I'm gonna miss it, but I am excited to see what the future has in store for the A's, and I really, really hope that they could put a team together to put on that new field. More
I tell you one thing, you're right about those hot dogs because those hot dogs are good, man.
Super cheap, like $1 up in the and it was all you can eat. Like you could keep going back.
Yeah. And you went back.
Of course, look how fat I am. I went back.
Matter of fact, I went back. Hey, put some cheese on that. Throw some onions. Give me the whole, okay. And yeah, you went back for that.
My wife taught me how to eat a hot dog at the Coliseum because I used to eat them plain, and she said, "No, you got to put the relish, the mustard, everything on it."
Yeah. Look, but I will say this much: the one thing you don't do, and I am going to quote Clint Eastwood: "Never, ever put ketchup on a hot dog."
Don't put ketchup on a hot. I would say don't put mayonnaise on a hot dog, but
no, don't do that either. Let me tell you something. Raheem Mostert. You know what I nicknamed him?
What's that?
I nicknamed him Mustard.
Mustard?
Yeah.
Why is that?
You know why?
No, tell me.
Well, because when you go and you get a hot dog, right, and you put the cheese on that and it's in there. Now, what's gonna make that dog better?
Well, you need relish.
Okay, relish, but still.
But on the very top, you're right. You put on mustard.
You put mustard on that dog. So that's what's gonna make it better. And to me, Raheem, when he got in, he just made it better. So he put some mustard on that.
It's the last top condiment you need to complete your hot dog.
That's it. So, but when we think about, go back to the 49ers and we go back to the Garoppolo issue, and I can't believe I saw something. I guess, what was it? I guess Jerick McKinnon was giving this very, very rude and exuberant goodbye, and I was just like, dude, really? You boy, you know what? You look, wait a minute, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. You didn't bring that much to the table.
No, unfortunately, he didn't because of injuries. And you think he would have a little more decorum on the way out, or class, I guess you could say, on the way out, because the 49ers did take care of him. I feel.
Yeah, he got paid. I mean, you were there for how many seasons, and you only contribute maybe one or two, but you still walked out with millions of dollars. As far as I'm concerned, I would have been like, well, no, it was good being here, or like you said, have some decorum, have some class. No. What'd you do? You went out like a, you know what? You went out like a butt. Okay, look, and it's just like, okay, fine. That's what you're gonna do. Well, then, you know what? Like I said, don't let the door hit you on the way out. But I do want to say this much. I think it would be really, really big of Jed York to go ahead and sign my man, the stud, 16 seasons in the NFL at running back.
I knew you were going there. You want
Yeah,
Frank
yeah,
Gore to come back, right?
yeah. Bring him back, sign him. He don't have to run every play. He don't have to run every game. Just sign him. Let him finish as a 49er. Let him retire as a 49er. He loved it here. We love. Is there anyone here in the Bay Area that was saying anything bad about Frank Gore?
Not a bad thing you can say about him. Great player. I loved watching him at college. Loved watching him with the 49ers. Bring him back. But the Niners have a lot. They've got a lot of work to do this offseason. And they've got a lot of free agents that they're going to have to make decisions on of who they're going to sign and who they aren't. And Frank Gore may be on that list, but he probably pretty far down that list of some of the decisions the Niners have to make this offseason, because I was looking at a list on ESPN and it was quite extensive. And, you've been saying it, Trent Williams is number one on the list of what they're going to do there. But Juszczyk's a free agent. There's a lot of other decisions. There's a lot of decisions on the defensive end too, in that secondary. That they could be losing some solid players.
Well, I tell you right now, there definitely are going to lose some solitary players in the secondary, and with good reason. Some of those players, in my opinion, kind of based on their stats, they probably shouldn't get paid like they've been getting paid.
Kella Weatherspoon? You think Kella Weatherspoon should get paid?
No, Weatherspoon's gone already.
Well, he's already gone. Yeah, he's to
the Jets, so
you're gonna have to replace, right? So
yeah, you have to replace, but you don't replace by spending. You got draft picks, you got guys on the practice squad, work them out. My whole deal is what I'm saying is that you got some guys in their secondary that are getting paid a lot of money and they shouldn't. You renegotiate those contracts. My whole deal is, I tell you right now, one contract you're definitely not renegotiating, okay, and that's Fred Warner. Warner can give Warner whatever he wants, okay, because that guy is just a wrecking crew. Mm-hmm. Sherman's gone; he's not there.
Sherman's gone. Jacoski Tart is another one. K'Wan Williams is another one that they need to make decisions on.
The thing about Tart is, I think a lot of what's going on with him is, what is his physical health like? When he's healthy, he's a baller. When he's healthy.
Yeah.
Okay? But if he's not healthy, paying him doesn't make any sense. For K'Wan, I probably would pay him. I would pay K'Wan, because K'Wan is just this dude on any given night, this dude can get it done. Okay.
Well, and this is my concern. I mean, we're sitting here and we talked about it and we listed 4 or 5 players and we said, we could do without him. Oh, he's going here, he can go there. Sherman's not, we did all that. Who's left? Who's left in the secondary? Not a lot. So you're gonna have to do work in the secondary. Because I feel you've lost a lot if you're the 49ers.
Yeah, you lost a lot, but let's keep it real. They lost a lot last season. That's the reason why they weren't the team they were a year before. And we got to understand something. And they also understand. I'm sure Shanahan understands. I'm sure Lynch understands. Every year is different. This isn't new to this coaching regime. It isn't new to the front office. They know exactly what they're getting into. They know every year things change. Mm-hmm. You're not going to have the same team that you had the year before. If you do, then you're probably spending way too much money. And if you do that, then you're probably not going to get everything you need to get out of all those players. Because we know what happens when you overspend. Okay. Right. You got a bunch of group of guys that are so busy making money, they don't remember what they're there for. And that's been permeated throughout the league. This is the end of our show.
It goes by so fast.
It does. We only got 30 minutes. So, but I'm going to tell you something. There's nothing like sitting up here on a Monday night, chopping it up with my good friend, Matt Wise, and with all of you who are watching. And by the way, if you guys subscribe, get yourself one of these. It's our GameFace t-shirts.
Put your emails in the comment section.
Yeah, put it in there. We're gonna send you a GameFace t-shirt. We'd love to send it to you. But you have been sitting here with us, and we appreciate that. Love to have you on. This is GameFace, part of the Bleav Talent Network. I'm Richard the Ewing, and he is Matt the Wise Wiseman. You can come in, put your feet up, relax. But if you do, you better have your GameFace on.